Book 2, The Indians. The Native Americans of North America were very diverse tribes. Most historians believe that Asian nomads pursued animals across the Beringian land bridge during the last ice age. As massive glaciers began to melt, these bands were trapped on the North American continent. These groups wandered southward in search of food and supplies. Many settled in regions where food and resources were plentiful. They developed lifestyles that were dictated by the natural environment. The clothes they wore and shelters they built were the result of the natural resources available to them. Over time, they wandered to southern regions, and some even reached the South American continent. Eventually, they discovered how to grow crops and established permanent settlements. These tribes created their own languages and ways of life. They competed with other tribes for hunting grounds. Civilizations emerged that were primarily centered around gods related to the natural environment that surrounded them. Some tribes were very advanced and even developed dominant empires in the years before the arrival of European settlers. To most European explorers, these tribes appeared to be savages with little advanced technologies and a simple, peaceful culture. Contact with people from Europe had a devastating impact on these natives, who existed for centuries with little threat from disease. The introduction of many new diseases and the European settlers' advanced weapons technology destroyed many tribes. Historians estimate that 9 out of 10 Native American Indians died within 2 centuries, mid-1700s, of contact with European explorers who eventually settled in the New World. At first, Native American Indians tried to establish peaceful relations with these new settlers, but eventually they fought back and tried to protect the lands the Creator had provided for their people. Most tribes believed in a variety of supernatural entities that impacted their cultural beliefs. Among these entities was usually a creator who was responsible for providing the natural surroundings tribes depended on for their well-being. Generally, a tribe shared the land and items provided by nature because the Creator provided everything. Native American Indians traded and interacted with the Spanish, French, and English settlers in the eastern woodlands of North America. Along the coast of the Atlantic Ocean and throughout the Appalachian Mountain region, alliances were made and broken constantly throughout the 1600s and 1700s. Many Native American Indian tribes occupied the northeastern region of North America. The Huron tribes lived on lands in the Great Lakes area that is part of Canada today. The Iroquois, or Haudenosaunee tribes that included the Seneca, Cayuga, Onondaga, Oneida, and Mohawk lived in areas known today as New York and Upper Pennsylvania. The Algonquin tribes were spread all along the Atlantic coast and Appalachian Mountain region. There were many regionally based tribes including the Abenaki, Mohegan, Pequot, Wampanoag, Mohican, Lenni Lenape, Chippewa, and Ottawa, among many others. The Susquehannock occupied much of the present-day Pennsylvania. Most tribes throughout these areas spoke dialects of 2 language families, Algonquian or Iroquoian. The Iroquois tribes eventually unified and expanded, stirring up conflict with the Huron, Susquehannock, and some independent Algonquian tribes.